want to talk to some of y'all. There's a lot of people who's very vocal about this album, vocal about Drake's career, where he's at. I think we should talk about all of it. I think 2022 is a very interesting year because this is one of those years I believe music will probably pivot to somewhere and something else. In the last 2 years, I believe that gangsta music really has they've been doing their thing in terms of they've been dominating. But all them niggas locked up. Let's keep it real. Only Dirk really free. Okay, everybody else locked up, got killed. Let's be honest, right? The latest, even though I don't know if you would categorize like Young Thug and Gunna making like gangsta music, but I think we're realizing most of the people who rap in gangsta shit, if they're big enough, most of them is getting out of here. Let's keep it on it, right? So we're gonna start realizing that there's gonna be new popular music, and it's gonna sound different than what we've heard the last 2 years. I think this is also where Drake is having a moment of reflection as well. Reportedly signed a $600 million deal. I would imagine it's for at least another 5 albums. He's 35. And also at I wouldn't call it fork in the road, but if we had a conversation about Drake and if he peaked, just like and I always parallel Drake to LeBron, I think most people would say LeBron's peak is 2016. Like, you just goated that year, right? Now, to be honest, 2020 LeBron wasn't bad. I think he won a championship that year too, right? But he was better before, right? So I think constantly the conversation with Drake is he over the hill? Is he still trying to reach a different plateau? And oftentimes, and by the way, if I'm hitting these basketball analogies, good. I'm killing it, if you ask me. And oftentimes, when sometimes people think it's over, sometimes you get a Steph Curry moment where I think people would have said, well, I think all the sports writers were like, Curry would never win without KD. Nigga, he violated niggas this season and won without KD, right? So when was Curry's peak? You know what I mean? You could argue it to be many different times, right? Leads us to this album. Surprise drop. If you ask me, I'm going to give a little context to it. Drake, who just signed a big contract, drops in a surprise album. Now, I know y'all just want to be like, yo, Ak, is it good or bad, okay? But we do have to analyze these things because, again, I really think Drake is about the bag, number one. But also, I think Drake isn't like a Kendrick or a J. Cole. I've already told y'all, I believe both of them niggas, they blew their chance, okay? Those two niggas are what you would call honorable losers, okay? They're good with the silver and bronze trophy, okay? Drake only came for the first place. And by the way, I'm not saying it to down those guys or their fan base, but let's be honest, they never seemed like they were competing. Like, in hindsight, there was a time niggas used to compare Carmelo Anthony and LeBron James. 10 years later, or 15 years, you realize how stupid that sounded. And that's all I'm trying to say. That's all I'm trying to say. When I talk about Drake and them other two niggas, it's like there was a time where I'm like, oh, it's a neck and neck race. It's not no neck and neck race. It's Drake and the other niggas, okay? That's it. But still, that conversation continues with some people because we're going to get into sales. This album, honestly, never mind, is projected to be selling in like around 235,000 units, right? Somebody help me off the top of my head, because I can't think of it off the top of my head, so somebody help me. Dark Lane Demos, what did that do? By the way, we do know that Certified Lover Boy did 650. I believe Dark Lane Demo might have did like 250 or something around that area, right? Before Dark Lane Demo, we had some EPs, Scary Hours, and some other shit. Or after Dark Lane Demo, we had some other shit. But before then, it felt like the last release was probably, and tell me if I'm wrong, Scorpion. And Scorpion did 750. By the way, I am the numbers guy. I will not shy away from having also qualitative discussion about what Drake's rumored numbers will be for this project. What does it mean? And what should we expect going forward? Okay? Now, I got to make sure the chat's with me. We got a lot to talk about. Some people saying flopped. By the way, interesting. Let me pull this up real quick. I feel like this was an interesting, and by the way, I don't think he hates Drake or nothing like that. I think, but I think a lot of people think this too, right? So, Ugly God said, this is after I post. I said, I ain't gonna lie, this is what I posted on Twitter. Drake's album, no, never mind. No, wait. Why do you use this one? Okay, all right. I think he meant the mixtape one. So, I posted this tweet before. I said, yo, by the way, let's be real. Honestly, never mind, it's a Drake mixtape. He's only calling it an album because of the new deal he got where it counts as one. It's in the realm of Dark Lane demos. If you're reading this is too late. More Life. It's experimental and literally no rollout. Okay? By the way, I know some of y'all might be like, yo, that's just dick riding or you're trying to give it an excuse. Let me just say this because, by the way, he also, Ugly God said this in the comments. He said, Ak, how you gonna name every excuse that even you don't be trying to hear from people other than this actually my favorite Drake piece? Okay, so he kind of said I'm making excuses for him, but he said like Drake anyway. Anyway, now, by the way, we're gonna judge the project as it is, whether it's good or bad. The reason why I say this is a mixtape is because of the rollout. Drake notoriously, if he doesn't do a rollout, is primarily a mixtape. We've seen this before. If you're reading this is too late, popped up at midnight. More Life, pretty much popped up at midnight. Okay? Dark Lane demos popped up like the day before or some shit like that. Okay? Essentially, all those albums, or again, we could just call them projects, we look at as fans as mixtapes. They were in between filler projects. Doesn't mean they weren't still good. If you ask me, a top 3 Drake album is going to be If You're Reading This Too Late. Or top 3 Drake project is If You're Reading This Is Too Late. Top 3, 4 at the max. Okay? I think we'd all say Take Care. I'd go Nothing Was the Same. Truthfully, I'd put Scorpion number 3 because I really grown to love Scorpion. Right? But If You're Reading This Too Late, if you put it at number 3, I'm not mad. By the way, also, If You're Reading This Is Too Late is probably one of his classics. Drake got at least 3 classics. Let's be honest. And if you were gonna name the 3 classics, I would say you would name If You're Reading This Too Late. Now, granted, it's still a mixtape. Somebody throw so far going. I'm not doing that. Am I wildin'? Okay. Oh, by the way, people said turn the YouTube on. Thank you. We're live on all platforms now. Do you guys get what I mean though? Take Care and Scorpion, the only classic. Nothing. I'm gonna be honest. Drake's favorite album himself. He told me it's like Nothing Was the Same. He feels that was more. I don't know if he likes it more than Take Care, but he definitely believes like that's the second best album, if not Take Care. Some people say I'm wildin'. Somebody said Drake got 6 classes. I don't think he got 6. Now, let me give and let me not do the fucking lead up. Let me give you my opinion about this album and whatever. First of all, I think 99% of the people judging this album is judging it incorrectly. This album is not a hip hop album. Period. It's not a hip hop album. Also, we're gonna get into why some of the sales are gonna look funky. Places like Rap Caviar only have one choice of song to put on. He has 13 dance songs, 1 rap song. So this is not a hip hop album. If you look on Rap Caviar, we can pull it up right now. They only have 1 song in rotation from a Drake album. You know that's usually not the case. They're gonna have like 5 to 10, but it's only one rap song. It's not a rap album. The reason, so we have to judge it as not a rap album, okay? Just like how with some of Kanye's project, I don't judge it as a hip hop project. There's a bunch of Kanye projects I don't judge as hip hop projects. I hope you understand that. I think this project by Drake is probably, and this is going to sound wild for the people who don't let me finish, and I know because y'all told what happened like a couple days ago. They love to just start clip, end clip, and run with it. People lack context. People lack nuance. People don't want to have real discussion. and people try to take the most shocking things rather than understanding it. I think this might be Drake's most important album. And I know, don't end the clip there. Let it continue. The reason why this is Drake's most important album is because everything I've complained about, and I know some of y'all might just know me, or y'all might just think, yo, nah, I'm just a dick rider for Drake. But if y'all really watch my streams or watch my commentary about Drake's music, there's a lot of criticism there. By the way, two things could be true. I could say Drake is the best, but he lacks in certain areas. I think he's the best rapper. I don't think he's necessarily the best artist. I've said CLB, pretty good collection of songs that are like dope bops, but it lacked a theme. It lacked presentation. It lacked a lot of what Donda had. What Donda was great at was an experience. I said that if Drake wants to ever take it to the next level, he has to get there. You could be the best rapper in the world, but it's the reason why niggas are like Talib Kweli and they're Jay-Z. Like, there's two levels. Like, both of them, if we go bar for bar, if we go just line for line, think about Black Thought, think about people like Drake. Black Thought is one of the best rappers, bar none. There's a bunch of intangibles that make a superstar, great, phenomenal rapper. You have to check a lot of boxes along the way. Drake has happened to check a lot of those boxes. However, he's not a perfect artist by any stretch of the imagination. The reason why I'm calling this a important album from Drake is because I believe that Drake is the artist. Drake is the greatest artist that has taken the least amount of chances. Does that make sense? Drake is the greatest artist that's taken the least amount of chances. Kanye takes a chance every album. Every album is so fucking different. When Kanye said that he was going to stop making secular music and only do gospel, I said, it is a wrap. The first attempt was like, but then he gave us some good stuff. You're like, oh, wow. Kanye continually challenges himself. He continually steps out of the lane that you think Kanye West could, like, he knows what we like. We all say he's probably one of the only artists that has started off a career 3 for 3, 3 albums, 3 classics, College Dropout, Late Registration, Graduation, all classics. You think he couldn't just sit there and loop samples of loop soul samples all day and give us the same sound for the rest of his career, just trying to make sure he stays in that realm? No, what did he do? He blew the sound up. After Graduation, here's 808s and Heartbreaks. Then he realized I could try to fuse genres, put things better together. He tried it with Yeezus. And by the way, he accomplished that to a higher degree without going outside the genre with My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasies. The defining thing about Kanye when we have a legacy talk, Kanye versus Drake, is that Kanye is a line pusher. Kanye's changed the game. Kanye changes the sound. That makes him greater than just being a great rapper. There's mad great rappers. We don't remember them when we talk about this shit. This is why I say this Drake album is important. Because I'm going to be honest with you. I think we all know Drake's formula to make an album now. Fire intro where he's rapping about somebody did him wrong. Couple of songs in between him talking about something public in the media or some nigga that went bad, or sneak this in like a nigga like Pusha T, or singing about a chick who played him. Right? Make sure you got a hit with Lil Baby or Future. Right? You got to have a lyrical song. What time is it going to be now? 8 a.m. in Zimbabwe? Fine. By the way, these are all going to be fire songs. All going to be fire songs. Couple more R&B. Make sure the ladies are good. Have a straight smash. And go international a little bit. Grab a little Afro beat. Fuck with a little dance solo. And kind of wrap the album with, I'll be back next time, but I've got enough off my chest. That's pretty much the Drake album formula. Let's be honest. No, and by the way, that's my guy. I love it. But I believe Drake is at a peak where he needed to push himself and push his sound. I think here comes what I would say is a tape, but contractually he's going to call it an album. The logistics of that, I believe, I think no matter what Drake puts out now, there's no more mixtapes coming out. You have to be smart as a fan to kind of see what's a mixtape and what's not. You get what I mean? He's going to treat an album like how he treated Scorpion. He's going to treat an album like how he, even though he didn't do much follow-up after the album came out, how he treated CLB, how he treated Views. That felt different. This felt like a bunch of Photoshop and one tweet, and it was going to satisfy his obligation for the label for this new contract, and also he has to do Sound 42, which is on Sirius. He was going to satisfy that obligation as well. Okay? But the real importance of this album, if you ask me, and let me go here, is that Drake is finally doing shit that we would all consider he's not the best at. He made a house progressive album mixed in infused with some Jersey club. And I know my man Gordo said Baltimore club, but listen, Jersey, come on now. But he stepped in a realm where he's not the best. I've listened to this album, and overall, I think it's a good dance album. Good dance album. When I didn't say it's a classic, it's a good dance album. But I like the fact that he even dropped this album better for his career. Because monotony and dropping the same thing and doing the same fucking formula over time will burn you out. And I think this was needed, that Drake could also do more experimental shit. It's no reason why, like, I could possibly argue, and I might be grossly wrong with this, but like, when I mean experimental is like, Drake covers many lanes, so it's hard to say what's it like. Some people might be like, no, him doing a little bit of dancehall, that's experimental. I would say, nah, I think that's one of the realms he kind of covers. Experimental is like, I'm trying to think. Rebirth by Lil Wayne. And by the way, I think this is Drake's Rebirth. And I think that was the album. He had one great song on it. It was like, I pick the world up and we drop it on his fucking head. It was just it was like rock. It was like a lot of guitars. But it was Wayne. But it wasn't Wayne rapping over, DJ Khaled or Timbaland beats were like, feed me rappers and feed. Like, it was different. Just tell me if I'm wildin'. So if you want to know what I think about this album, I think it's good. I think people saying, and I'll address this now. For the people who say this is bad, this is where it's very important to have some self-awareness. And this has happened a few times, I believe. By the way, I think this was also a lot of the sentiment about Whole Lot of Red when it first dropped. By the way, can we all agree that Whole Lot of Red has appreciated with time? Like, people have appreciated that album, given it more props than they ever given it before as time has passed. Can we all agree? Can we all agree? Some people are even going as far to say Whole Lot of Red was classic. Now, this next album, I'll say, I still think is trash. But Yeezus, some people have gone on to say Yeezus is really good or classic or whatever the case is. Now, let me give you the reason why I use those albums to be a precursor to what I'm saying now is because fans don't realize that sometimes our own expectations ruin the albums we get. Whole lot of red. The hate comments at first came because people wanted the baby voice. Let's be honest. Nigga, I read the comments. Niggas just wanted the baby voice. Where's the baby voice in these 15 snippets? Like, where they at? Let's be honest. Your expectations ruined the album you got. At least at first. But you know what Cardi was really good at? He had the conviction, he had the persistence, he had the vision, and these are the traits of genre bending, line pushing artists who they don't run back in the studio as soon as the fan base says on Twitter, I don't like this. A lot of artists do that. Oh, y'all don't like this? And by the way, I thought Drake was going to do that. Because, you know, people were like, no, CLB is cool. It's not bad. I like Fair Trade and a few others. But some people were saying, it's not a classic. It doesn't match up to Scorpion. I thought he was running back in the studio to go drop something to make us feel good. Like, okay, all right, yeah, Drake's that guy. Instead, he's pushing the line. You know who always does that? Ye. Ye will give us an album that some people think is the worst thing ever, and he'll let it sit there. Sit there and appreciate it, motherfucker. Because oftentimes, and think about when Yeezus came. Like, niggas expected a certain sound that when we heard Yeezus, it was like, what the fuck is this? And that's been the case with a lot of Kanye albums. However, he's usually so sure in the music, and I know sometimes he's obviously changing the music back and forth, but in the direction he's trying to go, he's so sure in it, he lets it sit, and usually fans come around. That's why I think this album is important for Drake. As I said, this album is more important than it is good, but I don't think it's bad. I think it's good. This is Drake's most important album. This is not Drake's best album. I hope that didn't go over your head. For me to go through all the songs and rank them accordingly, take some time. For me to give the album overall rating, take some time. But I can definitely tell you this is not his best album. But it's definitely, let me see. Well, see, now I got to think. Wow, let me see. What would Drake's... Nah, I'm rocking with this over Thank Me Later. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm rocking with this over there. I don't like Thank Me Later, really. I don't like... Wait, hold on. What was on Thank Me Later? Hold on. Hold on. Thank Me Later. Nah, Thank Me Later was not a classic to me, brother. Songs like, let me see, Fireworks, fuck out of here. Karaoke, Resistance is cool. Over, I never liked that as a single. Cool song, though. Up All Night, that is a classic. Fancy, that's the shit. Shut It Down was cool. Shout out to The Dream. Forgettable, I think that song's unforgettable. Or forgettable. Light Up with Jay-Z, okay. Jay-Z gave him some insight. Miss Me, complete classic. CeCe's Interlude, whoa, classic. Find Your Love, I think he was trying to find his lane. Thank Me Now, he did have Best I Ever Had as bonus track, but that was like a summer song before the album came out. And this is on the bonus track, at least for Japan. Successful, wasn't that on like one of the mixtapes or some shit like that? And wasn't that like also fucking copying a Kanye song? And Uptown. Was Uptown on it? Yeah, Uptown's good. I'm trying to think just quickly, where would this album fall? Would this album be the worst Drake album? Like, name the worst Drake album. You can't name this one. Name the worst Drake album to y'all.